Ever since its release in 2013, Rick and Morty has been one of my favorite shows of all time. I have seen the first 2 entire seasons and currently waiting on the 3rd season to be released July of this year. A dark-humored animated series about a grandfather and grandson who go on wild, crazy, and sometimes gruesome adventures through space, alternate realities, etc. Before I continue, I shall introduce myself. Hi, my name is James. I am an average student and a fan artist. I am a big cartoon fan and I enjoy creating fan art for my favorite shows. Sometimes these fan art would be uploaded to my DeviantArt. Needless to say, my all-time favorite show was Rick and Morty. It was a show I have always seemed to have a strong liking for and would be one of the main things I would draw. But one summer night was the day I would never watch Rick and Morty ever again. That day I sold all my Rick and Morty collectibles, t-shirts, toys, etc. Now let's get into the story. Grab some Chinese food, soda, sit back, relax, and enjoy. It was a regular summer day. I just came back from art camp and I had decided to relax and play computer games on my PC. I was playing one of my favorite PC games, Overwatch, until I noticed a player on the group chat said, "You've been warned." I thought, wow, that was weird. I wondered whom the user was talking about. Minor thing, but I shrugged it off and I dismissed it as just a gaming troll trying to bother me and the rest of the players. I then ordered some Chinese food that night and it arrived shortly. As I was enjoying my meal, a knock came at the door exactly 30 minutes later. I opened the door to see I was face to face with an unknown cardboard box. I thought, what the fuck? I never ordered anything, but it said, "For James." I tried to think positively by thinking a friend wanted to give me a gift. Despite that being awfully rare that I get gifts on random occasions, I opened the package to see a DVD case which had Rick and Morty sloppily written on it. I was very weirded out because in the case was just a blank DVD-R and a note that said, "You've been warned." I honestly was considering calling the cops, but I decided to watch the tape. I thought the note was stranger. The reason being was that if it was Rick and Morty, what is there to be warned about? Anyway, I decided to insert the disc into my computer to view the show. I inserted the disc to show there is no DVD menu option. The first thing I saw on the screen was text that read, "The Transformation of Mr. Sanchez." That led me to believe that the episode was about Rick Sanchez, the overly adventurous and genius grandfather of Morty Smith and the father of Beth Smith. The episode started with the garage with Rick's flying space saucer, his science machines and equipment. The screen glitches for about 2 seconds to show Rick Sanchez, but he is facing the wall for 10 minutes straight. During this time, the sounds of children singing "Ring Around the Rosies" were heard. The music in the background was the distorted and very ghostly tune to the song. All of a sudden, Rick's head begins to spin all the way around. But his face? I will never forget. His eyes looked realistic and bloodshot. The eyes were shining and seemed to move around. His mouth looked as if somebody had carved his lips out. Then he began to talk in an unsettling voice. That was super indescribable. Rick was speaking and he said, "Everyone will die here. I will slaughter every one of them." Then the scene cuts to the theme song of the show. Instead of the normal opening to the show, it showed blurred images which showed a lot of red. I honestly didn't want to see the images unblurred. The episode started off with Morty watching TV and eating popcorn. He was watching the ball fondlers until Rick walks in the living room with the same realistic bloodshot eye and mutilated mouth. Rick then said, "Morty, what are you doing right now, Morty?" This time Rick's voice was so ghostly and nauseating, it sounded like a dying little ghost girl or something like that. Morty looked up and screamed. Morty then said, "Oh shit, what happened to you?" Before Morty could say anything else, Rick replied with, "You happened," then proceeding to strangle poor Morty up. Rick's unimaginably realistic eyes seemed to widen, along with his horrific mouth. Then blood spurted out as Rick laughed uncontrollably and loudly. Morty began to suffocate and blood ran down from his mouth. The sound Morty made was another part of the episode that I will never forget and will be forever bleached into my brain. Rick then said, "No more, Morty," while his head was spinning around. Rick then was smashing Morty's face with his shoes. Morty was there bruised and bleeding. Morty was breathing. It was shocking how Morty was still alive in the unimaginable pain he is going through. I knew Rick and Morty had some gruesome moments, but Rick was torturing Morty. Rick then, like a maniac, pulled his own eyeballs out with his bare hands. The eyes then dropped to the ground. Rick then began to shriek and laugh with no eyes and standing over Morty's battered up body. The screen glitched to a scene to the living room once again, but except Jerry is shown. Jerry was sitting there petrified and rather shaken. Then Rick, eyeless and wide-mouthed, came over. Jerry then said, "Where the hell is my wife?" Rick then began to maul Jerry up like a bear. I can't even describe the scene due to its horrid details. Jerry was at the same time breathing just like his son was, except Jerry was literally demolished. During this scene, a gloomy Sunday was playing mixed with some 60s style music. Rick then said to the horribly mangled Jerry, "Beth is dead." I was furious. How could Rick be so soft about his daughter dying? I thought the two cared for each other. Beth cares for her father and seemed to stay with him. At the same time, where was the fun, adventurous, time-traveling cartoon that I had loved so much? Again, I know Rick and Morty was at times gruesome, but this episode really hits the limits hard. The very end credits really put my safety in jeopardy. The credits were replaced with weird satanic letters. The letters said, "We are watching you at all times. Your safety is decreased. Everyone wants to hurt and torment you. See you in hell, James." After the credits, gruesome images were shown. All the pictures were corpses. Some of the corpses look so alive but are hanging from ropes. Some of the corpses in the pictures were horrifically mauled and brutally unrecognizable. Traumatized, I ran to my room crying and breathing heavily. I got rid of all my Rick and Morty merchandise and collectibles, and I will never watch Rick and fucking Morty ever again. I never told my mom or dad about any of this, so when my birthday came, my mom gave me a Wubba Lubba Dub Dub shirt with Rick's face on it. I only told mom I liked it, but whenever I wear it, I feel like a man who served in Nam. My life and childhood crumbled, and I am now scared of everything, including my own home and neighborhood. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button down below, leave a comment in the comment section down below telling me what other creepypastas you guys would like me to read. There is no link for this story down in the description below because this was sent in by a fan and he wants to remain anonymous. So therefore, no link to that, but my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Snapchat are still down in the description below. Be sure to go follow me on all of those because that is a really good way to interact with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.